For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic, before the Dark Times, before the Empire, and before the Jedi Council completely screwed things up for everyone else. It's easy to blame Emperor Palpatine and his dark forces for the end of the Republic, but let's face it, it was really the Jedi that screwed the bantha on this one. Here are 9 totally dumb decisions made by the Jedi Council that sealed the fate of the galaxy. Poor Shmi Skywalker, a slave whose only bright spot in life was her little Annie. Shmi saw her son torn from her overnight when the hippie Jedi Qui-Gon Jinn blasted into town and declared the boy a Force prodigy. Which, yeah, we get it, he needed to be trained. And Qui-Gon wasn't really in a position to free both Anakin and Shmi during his last weekend on Tatooine, we guess. But couldn't the Jedi Council have sent for Shmi after the fact?
I miss her.
Why would they let their young, most powerful Jedi in training suffer with the knowledge that his mom remained a slave in the Outer Rim? Of course, Anakin eventually learned that things got better for Shmi, before they got much, much worse. And that didn't help Anakin's fragile emotional state at all. The Council's initial impulse was to not train Anakin. Ultimately, they went back on that decision, but in retrospect, they were probably right to not want to train him. Still, that said, since they knew how important Anakin was, what with the high midichlorian count and Qui-Gon's chatter about bringing balance to the Force and blah blah blah, why didn't the Council do a better job of getting the kid trained? When Qui-Gon died, they put Obi-Wan on the job, who had just completed his time as an apprentice.
You were the chosen one!
But why not let Yoda take over, or Mace Windu, or one of the other Jedi Masters on the Council? Anakin needed a real teacher, not a lightsaber buddy, to grow into a well-balanced, mature Jedi. The Council needed top men on this job.
Top men.
So there's a Dark Lord of the Sith by the name of Darth freaking Sidious living right under your collective Jedi noses, and nobody notices?
I do not believe the Sith could have returned without us knowing.
Admittedly, this is less a bad decision by the Council as much as it is just being plain bad at your job. But still, Palpatine is driving your millennial republic into the ground, guys, and you're all sitting around in what looks like a Marriott conference room. An entire clone army was created during the Jedi Council's watch, an army that was programmed to eventually murder every last Jedi, and nobody knew a thing about it.
Sith Lords are our specialty.
Anakin's Padawan Ahsoka was expelled from the Jedi Order by the Council when she was wrongly tried for a crime she did not commit. Even though her name was eventually cleared, Ahsoka chose not to rejoin the Jedi. Seeing the Jedi treat his student and friend so poorly only contributed more to Anakin's suspicions about the Order, suspicions that would eventually have dire consequences. Namely, Darth Vader. Tall, black armor, kills people with a thought, you may have heard of him. When Mace Windu finally realizes the truth about Palpatine's double life as Darth Sidious, he's understandably pissed and ready to fight. But wouldn't it have made sense to wait for backup? I mean, the Emperor was an old bureaucratic guy on the outside, but he did mentor both Darth Maul and Count Dooku, who've been known to take out some Jedi, so it makes sense that he'd be pretty good with a lightsaber too, which as it turns out, he was. It's a nice idea, letting Luke be raised by what little family he has in the galaxy, but it's also a colossally stupid one. Obi-Wan and Yoda, the sole survivors of the Council at this point, decide to take baby Luke to the planet where his now evil dad is from, to the very home where his now evil dad hung out, and then they gave him his now evil dad's same last name.
What have I done?
Sure, Darth Vader never did find Luke on Tatooine, but Yoda and Obi-Wan didn't know that wouldn't happen. They got super lucky, unlike the galaxy they had sworn to protect. There is another. But we're gonna keep her on the sidelines while the fate of the galaxy hangs in the balance. So why wasn't Leia trained by Yoda the way Luke was?
I'm not looking for a friend, I'm looking for a Jedi Master.
In a practical sense, wouldn't it have been smarter to train 2 Jedi instead of betting everything on just Luke? And really, it made more sense for Leia to become a Jedi, but with all those years of leadership experience and insider knowledge regarding the Rebel Alliance, unlike Luke, who didn't know what a lightsaber was.
What is it? Your father's lightsaber.
So much of mastering the Force is about a Jedi Knight's emotional state, and yet Obi-Wan and Yoda send Luke off into battle against Vader, completely ignorant about who he's going to face. Sure, it's a tough thing to have to tell a guy that his dad is Space Hitler, but wouldn't it be better to learn it in advance from those that you trust, rather than in the heat of a lightsaber duel while standing on the precipice of a bottomless pit? Yoda and Obi-Wan apparently thought not. Those are the Jedi Council's 9 dumbest decisions. Let us know what you think about this list of misguided Jedi wisdom in the comments, and may IGN be with you, always.
Move along.
Move along. Move along.